Can you hear it? Welcome to Relay.
No idea. Let's... Oh, yeah. Look. The thingy's going up when I do the thing where stuff comes out of my voice hole. Hello, everyone.
Hi, David.
You really sometimes have to wonder and think and cogitate on certain things. Who first looked at a pineapple and thought, yes, that looks like it would taste good. I should put it in my mouth.
I have an answer for you.
I don't want your answer. These are all hypotheticals. Who looked at a kumquat and said, yes, this goes in my mouth? Who first smelt a durian and thought, yes, the smell of raw sewage and rotting flesh seems pleasing to my tongue taste bud things, I would like to lick it. What mad lad saw grapes, thought, I am going to squash them repeatedly with my feet, leave them out in the sun for days, and then drink the very small amount of liquid that remains? And most importantly, who in their right minds saw this strange Twitch channel and thought, yes, I want to listen to these random strange men talk Star Citizen on a weekly basis? Well, whomever you are, thanks, and welcome to the Relay Station, I guess.
Welcome to the relay station.
Hello,
You
everybody.
did good?
Yeah.
How many relay stations have we done?
Oh my god. Relay stations only?
Hundreds?
Or I mean, Relay Station's been what, like 4 years now?
A little over 4 years. Yeah,
4
no,
years.
4.5 years. Four and a half years now.
4.5 years. So let's skip a half year for missing them. 52 weeks in a year, I'd say around 200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Around 200 relay stations. And then if you
Hey,
add
thanks
in...
for watching us 200 times, guys.
I mean, if you were crazy enough to watch us 200 times,
We're almost a Star Trek series. at this
seek
point.
help. Yeah, almost a Star Trek series, but way. Damn it, Shiver's not here, so I'm not even going to bother. But I was going to say way better, more intelligent, and better produced. But that would only work if Shiver or Jake were here. So anyway, hello everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Say hi. I'm saying hi. My son has figured out how to say hi sometimes.
Yay!
He goes, hi,
Awesome.
hi. And it's really cute. So that's now how I'm going to say hi to everyone. Hi.
Maybe he's preparing for a career in martial arts. Hi.
Yes. So far, actually, sounds like he's going to be a race car driver or a mechanic. Almost everything he sees, he goes, car. Anything that has wheels is a car. So cars are cars. Like a lawnmower, car. Stroller, car. The vacuum cleaner, car. Really, it was pretty
Really focused on
flawlessly-
the cars.
It was pretty flawlessly anything with wheels, though now he's got like a little indoor slide.
Mm-hmm.
No wheels on it. It's just like a ladder up and a slide down. And he's started calling that car as well. Haven't figured that one out yet. This should just this should actually be my intros from now on. I'll just update people on where Link is at in development.
Perfect.
So
We could change the whole show, really.
Vroom confirmed. Yes, I like Vroom.
I mean, Link is likely to be done before Star Citizen, so
I mean, Link is likely to be done. You mean dead?
no.
Like
I mean, developed.
Developed. Well, Eric, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't say that I'm fully developed yet. My mental capacities sure aren't, and my maturity sure as hell isn't. So
You know what's really scary is you probably are fully developed. Oh darn. That's sort of what I've realized at this point. Is it's like, great, I'm still a teenager, but I'm in the body of a 36-year-old or whatever.
Great. So this is just me now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I look at my parents, and they're both so like boring and just sit there and drink wine, and it's like, man, what happened to you guys when you were young that just sucked all of the fun out of your entire life?
And then you realize it was you.
No, because I have two and I haven't lost all my fun yet. Anyway, hello everyone.
No, you sure haven't.
Time for us to start talking about Star Citizen, because we do have a lot to talk, because we have missed a couple weeks because, well, life and COVID and
Yep, pretty much. That's how she goes.
I will start with
It's
a.
Dungeons and Dragons.
I do hope everyone is doing well. For those of you who are American, I really hope you've been able to get one or both of your shots. I encourage you to do so. And for the rest of us, good luck.
Luck. I knew that was coming.
Good luck.
Have you had even one yet? I assume not. I didn't think so. You're in
No.
Ontario. They're not doing good.
No, we're doing real bad. Anyway, yeah, let's.
So, some things I don't think we have much video for. We did get a save the date from CIG
Yep.
a couple days ago. Invictus Week is coming. The end of May here, May 21st. It's going to roll through the beginning of June. And everyone knows Invictus Launch Week is the big like military celebration thing in Verse. And apparently we're going to be able to walk through a javelin, which is going to be very cool.
So
You
I've got
excited to see Capital Ship up close and personal?
I am very excited to see the Javelin up close and personal. I expect it's the Javelin because they don't want to show us the Idris, because they want the interior of the Idris to still be a surprise for Squadron. But the Javelin doesn't have that, so if the Javelin's done,
Yeah.
there's
They also have to keep They also have to keep changing the interior of the Idris to suit Squadron, so that probably doesn't help either.
yeah. But if the Javelin's done, I think this is really exciting. I'm more excited though to see, like, I don't know, I don't even get excited about this because this is just my weird far off brain thinking, and it's probably not anything. But this week with like a Javelin, the Fleet Week and the Javelin and everything seems really cool. But wouldn't it be cooler to see the Javelin actually like fight something?
That'd be cool.
Wouldn't it be neat if something showed up in the middle of it and people had to like launch the Javelin and then the Javelin had to like fight? Anyway, I'm just doing one of those. Wouldn't it be nice? Yeah, Pirate Raid in the middle of Fleet Week, scramble stuff. You've got a Javelin that's there. It's presumably flight ready. Let's see it blow some stuff up.
Yeah, for sure.
I
mean, I'm expecting it probably will.
They got to show off not just the ship, but the ship, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
my
Star
question
Citizens-
is, which player is going to be the first one to figure out how to steal the one that's in the dock and fly away with it?
I don't know, but I can't wait to see it happen. Because it's going to happen. Someone's going to figure out how to take it. And I love that.
I want to mention, so that's Invictus Launch Week. I mean, we're going to be talking about it for a while, so I don't want to get too hung up on it, but it is coming. It's going to be exciting. It's a pretty cool in-game event. That also, leads into, hey, 313's live. And they've also done a few like small incremental patches as well, because it came out a little unstable.
A little not working.
And yeah, and they've been trying to get it a little bit sorted out.
So Miami, I would imagine that there would almost have to be some AI in the Javelin, otherwise it would feel way too empty. But
I think so, because I think they're doing tours of it. I don't think it's like I think they're doing tours of the Javelin, so it's not necessarily like you just run in there.
yeah, okay.
So you probably have people walking around inside. Although I don't know how. I mean, good luck to them. The AI is still a little not working in the
313?
Versus universe at the moment. Yeah, as I showed off some screenshots to our group chat. I had one in the refinery at the Shallow Field Station there. The NPCs were spawning inside each other on top of chairs. So there were like 5 nested NPCs, and then they would go through their idle animations. They'd like warp out of each other and then warp back in. It was
They
interesting.
really, really need to implement those spawn closets.
They really do.
Because in the closet, it doesn't matter if one person is 5 people all together in the closet. It's when they come out of the closet that they need to, separate.
Indeed. The other thing I wanted to mention, there was a fairly sizable update to the Galactopedia this week, and there are 20 new articles, including a full-length article on the Thorshoot Grey. Now, question for David: do you remember what the Thorshoot Grey is?
No.
It is the tiny little crab. Remember the aquarium?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So there's a full-length article on the Thorshoot Grey, and a bunch of small articles. And yeah, I'm always interested to see the Galactopedia come along.
I'm gonna
Also-
actually switch over to the show and tell stuff because
Yep.
I think there was
Please do.
some stuff that we didn't show. Wait, what? No, that's not where you were supposed to be. Okay, there. We did get this as well. I don't know if this was like last week, wasn't it? The new What is Star Citizen video.
Yes, we sure did get this video. And yeah, it was last week. It looks very pretty.
It looks really pretty.
It's got a few really nice callbacks too.
Yeah.
I swear, when they get planetary clouds working properly, this game is going to go up like 6 notches in visual quality. And it's already like every patch, it's better. Just crazy.
I don't like. I know it's gonna keep getting better visually, but honestly, it almost doesn't really have to. It just needs like AI and stuff. But I love that it's still that reclaim. Ugh. I love the reclaimer, but
Yep.
it looks so good.
And the funny thing is like, I mean, I know it doesn't have to get better. It's going to.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot. This is not the final visuals for this game. I mean, heck, they don't even have the proper renderer in right now. It's doing a whole sea change coming up in the next year or two. I don't know. Is that too short of a time span? Am I not giving them enough time?
No, I think so. I think for a long time, Star Citizen has been at the point where it's not ready to show off, and I've been like, "Don't play it. It's not there yet." I think that, and like playing it, I still don't think it's there. But I think Star Citizen is now at the point where, in normal video game development, this could be shown at E3.
Oh yeah, for
right?
sure.
And normally when you show something,
alpha products are shown at E3 all the time.
but normally when you're alpha, you're like a year or two out.
Yeah.
I think that's where Star Citizen is. Honestly, I think we're beta sometime next year, and
Depends what they
Squadron
decide.
next year or the year after, and yeah.
I think I'm personally thinking that it's. I mean, I know I'm going to look back at this episode and be like, call myself a moron for one way or the other, but I think it's probably going to be Squadron 2023 and 2024 will be Star Citizen. That's just my
23.
guess.
Yeah, I'd take a year off
Not-
that. I think Squadron's next year, and I think
The reason I say that is I think they're just going to test the shit out of Squadron for like a year. Once it's done.
maybe we'll see. I think it's going to be
That's
next
my
year.
guess. Okay.
No, I sort of agree.
I will enjoy your optimism.
I gotta try and be optimistic about something, right?
That's good.
Tofu, I do agree with you on that. There is a lot of this is gameplay, but some of it is not. But it's stuff that, like, I think it's close enough to all being real that it doesn't really bother me.
No, there was one video they did years ago that was like 90% of it you couldn't do yet, and it was like, yeah, no. You
Yeah.
know, don't do that.
Yeah.
This one, it's mostly there.
The one that always bothered me most was just the Retaliator with the really cool looking floating through the ship and that not being possible. That bothered me, but I don't know. I like this one. It's a good video.
All right, you ready for the next?
Yeah, I'm gonna switch this off to Underground Infamy. Kill people in caves.
Ooh.
I have yet to explore a cave. And I know I should. That's all. I have yet to explore a cave, and I should.
I'm the same way. I haven't found one yet. That's part of the problem.
I really don't like looking up where other people have already found stuff on Reddit or something.
I want to find it myself.
I want to find it myself, and I know that I probably won't, but I want to. That would be alleviated with I want to be able to in-game buy a location and then go visit it. But we're far away from that, so.
Underground Infamy. All right,
so,
what's next?
Miami, I understand that. There's a lot of people I know that don't pay attention to Star Citizen anymore at all. And I mean, that's sort of I think you should still check in every once in a while. But the videos are what they are. One of the things that is always there is they just look good, and they just look better and better and better. And you're talking like other stuff on the Reddit? No. I stay the hell away from anything on Reddit because I don't want stuff leaked or spoiled. I hate it. It really bothers me when people post stuff that isn't public yet because I don't know, it irks me. It's like
Find it irksome?
I find it very irksome, yeah. I watched the Star Citizen stuff.
If I had seen this video like a couple years ago, my brain would have exploded out of the back of my head. I mean, obviously we see this week after week after week, so the progress doesn't look like a lot, but man, there's a lot of cool stuff going on.
Undocking from the Connie looks so cool. If only that little ship were good.
Good. Yeah, it's really good for ramming.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, do you want to go suicide yourself into the other ship?
Hey, look, it's a gray cat.
Oh, man.
Is this the one that everyone's mad about?
Everyone hates this thing with a passion.
So why on earth do people hate it?
So people hate it because the second seat is outside, and so you can only. So first of all, you have two people, but you can only do one thing or the other thing at any given time. So someone's always sitting there doing nothing. Secondly, people don't like it because I think environment suits aren't working quite right. So the person who's outside is always slowly dying, like all the time.
Okay, but that's just a broken state now. That's not going to be final.
And they're just sort of like, why the hell isn't the second person just inside? Like, it just, to them, to a lot of people, it just doesn't make any sense. Regardless,
knowing
people, and of course, there are the ever-present issues with The Rock anyway, all of the various bugs surrounding it. So people are just like, why would you double that problem with another new vehicle based on the
look, bugs are bugs, they'll get fixed.
Yeah.
What does, like, Multicrew isn't in yet. And one of the things that I've been asking for a long time that a lot of people haven't is like, okay, so what are we all doing on this Multicrew ship? We've got a Connie with, like, 4 of us, and we're flying along. So the pilot sets go, and then the rest of us.
Well, it depends. Like, if you're in Quantum, probably not a whole hell of a lot.
Right.
If you're not in Quantum,
so you only get to do stuff when there's something to do. So the driver in the Rock DC has something to do when they're driving, and then when they're mining, they don't. Like, it's.
Yeah, I don't see it as a big problem. That was just one of the things people were upset by.
I know. I just don't get. I don't get it.
So I have to say though, in Multicrew, I think like if you have a Connie and you have, let's say, a weapons officer and a scan officer and turret gunner, like, yeah, okay, if you're not fighting, but if you're fighting, everybody's doing something.
If you're fighting, yeah, but if you're mining, like, the person in the mining thing is probably mining, but the person in the driver's seat can I mean, I would imagine the person in the driver's seat can scan for the next location to go mine.
See, that would be smart, but I don't know if that's how it works. I haven't actually used it yet.
I haven't either. I don't know. Anyway.
Also, that sort of leads into the scanning mechanic. I know they're working on it, and the update is coming. We've seen the updates to scanning coming. It's not in yet, and scanning is currently extremely. First of all, it looks really bad. Secondly, I don't know. Like, it's confusing as to whether or not it's working properly a lot of the time, and yeah, it's.
Well, I mean, I haven't done any mining because I hate scanning right now.
Yeah, no, scanning needs to be better, but we know that it's getting better. Yeah. They've already shown it off, but it's just not there yet.
It's what I always say. I'm not playing Star Citizen right now because it all needs to get better. I'm not going to go drive the Rock DC because I don't know. I know people have to because the people that play it are the people that give feedback to CIG, and that's important. But CIG, give me Theaters of War, and then I will give you some feedback. Hey, Nescavian, how's it going?
Hi, Nescavian.
So
this all looks amazing.
This is Turbulent. This is the stuff that Turbulent are working on.
Yes. I really, really love the the fake rotating Gatling gun that was over the weapons store there as we went by. That was amazing. And yeah, Turbulent are a locations team now, so they're going to be building. They're starting off with hospitals. That's their job right now, is hospitals, like full, like big hospitals, and then they're moving their way up to eventually making whole star systems. So,
and this is excellent. I mean, I always have feelings, but I have a feeling this is like almost a proof of concept for getting this to work at another development studio, because they've worked with Turbulent for a long time. CIG and Turbulent work really well together. They've got a history. Let's see if Turbulent can do it. Let's create essentially the guide on how this works, and then because CIG are going to need a lot of planets, you expand. Either you expand Turbulent or you bring in some other dev studios to do other planets. They can expand with this. This is a test with Turbulent to see how it works, and I'm really excited to start seeing some of the fruits of Turbulence's labor.
Agreed. It's such a great thing for Turbulent too. I mean, they get to open. They've always been, the web developer. They get to open a game development studio that's sort of like just nested inside their existing studio.
Yep.
It's
And
a
keep
huge
in mind-
opportunity for them, and they already know a ton about the project, so it really helps.
Yeah, and keep in mind that this is actually how a lot of video game development studios do start. They start doing contracted work for other larger games.
Yep,
and then
absolutely.
build their team, build their portfolio, and then do something of their own. Behavior actually started that way. They did work for other people, and did work for Star Citizen, and then they made their own game, Dead by Daylight. I think that's what it was. Anyway, it's good for Turbulent. Can't wait to see what CIG get out of them.
I'm trying to. They've made a couple things recently, but not that.
I thought.
Death Garden they made.
No, Behavior made Dead by Daylight.
Oh yeah, they did. Sorry, it was 2016. I thought
Yeah.
it was more recent than that.
No,
I
it's
skipped over
the first thing they made post start working for CIG. And then they've gone on to do some other stuff, but like that's where they started after CIG.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, this is they have updated the visuals on thrusters or they're working on updating the visuals on thrusters to make it look like something's actually going on. Because yeah, this doesn't look.
They used to have engine contrails, and they accidentally lost them when they were doing gas clouds, and now so they have to remake them. They're using the particle system that they just created for missiles to recreate the thruster effects again, and actually have trails behind the ships, because otherwise it's really hard to see what's going on with the ships.
Yeah, they just look like they're sort of.
They look like they look like they're insects that are just like buzzing around.
Yeah. Yeah. So fixing that will be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely takes a bit of a visual pop out of a ship battle when it's just these little tiny lights just moving around. Also, the gas clouds look amazing.
They do.
That is all.
I also like some of the new harvestables that they're talking about going with.
Yeah. Definitely.
This is some of the stuff that I've wanted to see for a long, long time. Like, how are aliens going to look in Star Citizen?
And this is, they said 5 or 6 is probably the one with this one that they're going with.
Nescavian says CIG has a Canadian office. Am I going to get an excuse to go to Canada for a Citizen Con? I really, really hope so.
We are crossing our fingers.
I
kind of doubt they'll do a Citizen Con in Montreal, but they might.
I really hope that they do. I think it would be really. I mean, we've got
amazing for us.
They've got to get Citizen Cons back, which this year it's not gonna happen. Next year there will be a Citizen Con. Next year is gonna have to be in LA because they're gonna announce
That's
Squadron.
Supposed to be.
Well,
it's supposed to be before.
It's going to be in LA, and they're going to need it in LA because they're going to be launching Squadron, and they're going to want, Mark Hamill and just seriously, they're going to want it right where everyone is who was part of the game when they're not. I mean, Mark Hamill's not going to go over to Germany he might.
Yeah,
cool,
because
but
celebrities never travel anywhere.
Never.
What are you talking about?
Anyway, it's easier if they're there. But after LA, I mean,
Uh,
everywhere else has had it. I think it's time for Canada to get something here. Turbulent have been a part
Yeah.
of this project since the very beginning.
yeah, for a very long time.
Show us some love. And I mean, Relay and INN have been here since the very beginning as well. Like, show.
Uh,
Oh man, Canada is moderately more affordable than LA. Yeah, yeah. No, I really, really like these.
really-
Sorry,
I like
go
that
ahead.
they're doing like anemones that are not like sea plants. They grow on rocks. It's a really cool idea.
I think it's a really cool idea, and I think that these look. I mean, the anemones sort of look like they're sea creatures, but they're on land, which is great. That's alien, but the
Mhm.
trees look very. And I mean, I think we're seeing art for like a desolate place, but they look very interesting. I like it. I like how they're like how they grow and shift and like curl and anyway,
And
really
how
happy
they
with
didn't
this.
just like take the how they didn't just take the default Crytek trees and
Well, they're not just taking a tree and making the leaves purple,
yeah, for sure.
you know?
They're actually trying to use their art. There are many artists to create interesting things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get some Bob Ross in there. I mean, there will be planets that are way more Earth-like, right?
Oh, for sure, because a lot of them are terraformed.
Yep. So we are
That's,
going to see some. I don't know if it's the right word, but homogeneity.
Homogeneity. But
Homogeneity.
yes, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah,
you're
we are
on
going to
right.
see some homogeneity in the planets, but
Apparently, we're still gonna have throw rugs 900 years from now.
we had a rug in our laundry room, but the cats kept peeing on it, and then the washing machine started leaking. So anytime the washing machine leaks water, it touches the rug, and then the rug smells like pee, and then everything smells like pee. So we actually moved it to the kitchen, and it's quite nice having a little rug in the kitchen in front of the fridge. Just saying. Sometimes some look. I think that a lot of these habs are like these are 3D printed like concrete habs that are just slapped down, right? And you've got a bare concrete floor, bare concrete walls. Of course, we're gonna want rugs.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's too cold on your toesies.
Exactly. I do quite like a lot of the little touches. I mean, they've always had really good attention to detail. There's a lot of it in these habs.
This is why people
Um,
watch us. It's the Tozy commentary. We've got
The Toesies,
Tozy
yeah.
insight.
Oh boy. But you know, this stuff is really exciting. I'm really glad that they made a lot of progress with these. And all of a sudden we're gonna have homesteads, you know? It's coming.
Homesteads are really exciting, but so is this.
Amazing. I mean, we've
I-
heard about this. We've heard about this stuff for years. Actually, seeing it is like, oh my god.
I can still remember, even before even INN, myself and 6Fs and Caps would go through the XMLs for each patch and pull out the weapon data and the armor data and everything. And I remember pulling out all of the data for all of the components in the ships. The components that didn't even slightly exist yet, right? Like CPUs and
They
power
only
plants
existed
and
in that
in
XML
that
file.
XML, yes. And I always remember looking at those and being like, this is exciting. This is where, because one of the things that was promised, and the reason I bought my package is the freelancer package, was the modding capabilities for all of this stuff. And the idea that you might actually be able to open up the panel, take a look at the item itself, and like pull it out and start playing with it, and then slot it back in to get more power or more batteries or whatever. That is so exciting.
But to fix the individual component on
Yeah.
your ship, it's so cool.
Because that is the component that got hit.
Yep.
You know?
There's a giant like scorch mark on your hull there, you know?
And in larger ships, the idea of it's the engineer from Star Trek, right? Any of them. It's the this just blew, I have to run to it and pull it open and slot in a new one, or we're all going to die. And I can't wait for that. That to me, that
You gotta
is,
keep the warp. You gotta keep the warp containment field up.
Yeah.
Or else we're fucked.
that is exciting. I do worry that ship battles, like the length of ship battles, needs to increase.
I think it will in the PU, like in the long term.
Yeah, like it's gonna have to increase so that an engineer has time to get somewhere and make a repair.
Especially on a like 1 kilometer long ship.
Yeah. But even no,
Just running and running and running.
but even on a Connie, if your your engineer is in a turret and something gets hit and they have to hop out of the turret, run to it and repair it, your Connie has to live for more than like 2 minutes, let's say. So I
Yep.
think lifetimes of ships are going to have to increase significantly, which is difficult.
Which makes things hard on CIG, because one of the things they have to do then is increase battle times, but also still provide a lot of feedback to the attacker as to how much damage they're doing, what they're doing damage to, what effect that's having.
Yeah.
Because the worst thing in a battle is to have a long battle and feel like you're not doing anything.
Yep. Well, and I think that some of the fixes to the shields helps that a lot.
Yeah.
But
I think that's another good point by Niskavian too.
Yeah.
I think they're going to really cut down on ships blowing up. I think your ship is going to be disabled first, and you'll have an opportunity to be like, dude, take all my crap.
Yeah.
Don't blow
It's
me
going to
up.
have to go down, and like you'll lose engines and be floating.
Yeah.
And then they can continue hammering for you for a while to actually kill you, but it also has to be deliberate on their part, right? So you almost need like your ship's health bar, but this 25% of it is your ship is dead in the water, but they still have to take down that stuff before it blows up. Or what I'd also like to see actually is they have to specifically target, where is the power plant on this ship? You have to blow up that to blow up the ship, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's you know what? Whenever we're talking about beta and Star Citizen, it's going to be long, and this is the reason why.
Yeah.
This is the kind of crap that they can't fix now. This stuff is just people want them to make these things better now, but it makes no sense to make it better now. You need to get everything more or less in place technically, and then you can start to go, okay, how do we want the game to actually play, like on a high level?
If you don't have all of the systems, then you cannot accurately gauge how all of those systems interact with each other. So until they have repairability of components, they can't accurately gauge how long ships need to live, because what do? They just, otherwise it's okay, we could lengthen the time they live, but then that's boring for testing now, and it's not like you're doing anything to keep them alive, right? So yeah. They need more systems in, but getting good looks at systems like this is always progress towards that, which I love.
Yeah, I really, especially that video we got to see. I mean, this is a great video too. This is the Saber, but we got to see the full like suite of instruments that are on the Gladius now,
Yeah.
which is basically done for all intents and purposes. So I'm trying to remember what they said about this. This storage unit. I know I don't remember what ship it's on. It's a Crusader ship, obviously, but it's related to the upcoming like change in cargo, where you actually have like specific cargo areas, you know, different storage in different places. But now I'm trying to remember.
Starliner? Starlifter?
No, Starlifter probably. Does anybody know what ship this is? Because my brain is not working right now. And we have Miami Bat and Escavian in chat, and they're veterans. I think this is a Starlifter, and
They could probably just take our
there was-
spot.
they were talking about the A2 being the cluster bombs there that they were showing in white box. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, oh man, I think David just left me. I'm by myself now. This is scary, guys. What am I gonna do? I think David might have floated off the moon there. Not good.
Sorry, guys. It's been a hell of a week, which means it's a 2-beer relay station. Or, sorry,
It's a 2-beer
it's a 2 unnamed grain drink station.
Yeah, I'll agree with that, Niskavian. I don't think it should be arbitrarily long, but yeah, if you had to specifically get through armor, or you had to specifically take out a power plant, or completely destroy the engines of a ship, I could see. And yeah, that's the Starlifter. Okay, thank you, Niskavian.
Hey, look, they're reworking one of the uglier ships in the game.
Good night, Tofu.
Oh, good night, Tofu.
Yeah, they're putting a bunch of work into the Redeemer. It's finally getting into the game here. I think it's specifically not done. They were trying to emphasize that. You can see some of the textures and stuff are not really there yet, but it's definitely coming along. They worked a bunch on the thrusters, which are looking quite nice. It's neat to see this ship in the game.
I have always liked the hairpin thrusters and hated everything else about the ship. I've always thought that those are really, really cool looking thrusters.
I want to see where I think this ship might come alive is I think they have a lot of really interesting options for how this ship flies, like when it's actually moving. I think that's where this ship might really go from it looks weird to, oh, that's really cool, you know? So I'm very curious for them to, or I'm eager for them to finish it off and then to show it in action, actually doing its thing. Must be a pretty surreal experience for the people who won Next Great Starship. To see it coming into the game. I think some of them already. Actually, I think some of them work at CIG. I think some of them worked at CIG for a while and then have since left.
Yeah, like are they? I know some of them got hired by CIG. Are they still there? It's been a significant amount of time since
like
Next Great
5 or
Starship.
6 years.
Yeah,
5 or 6 years. Yeah, that was fun. It's a good time in Star Citizen Land.
they did have a Star Citizen Live on FPS level design. I'm mostly gonna skip that just because.
You know, it's funny because I know might be heretical of me, but I actually don't enjoy the game dev ones that much, so I tend to not watch them. I watch almost everything Star Citizen, even to this day. but a lot of the game dev stuff I tend to skip over unless someone tells me there's going to be a crotch spider or something, in which case I tend to watch it for the
Well, I
hilarity.
mean, yeah, if it's a crotch spider.
Yeah.
But there are some other things I do want to grab. Where is it? Then there's here it is. Armor. This week's. So this
yes.
week's inside the this one was good. This armor looks good.
Oh, it looks amazing.
A
lot of their armors look incredible.
lot of their armors look incredible. I have a hate relationship with a lot of the helmets that they've started doing.
Why?
Like the little
They're
the
amazing.
holographic devil horns, or the like ant face, or like insect faces, or cat ears. Which
It's
is
exactly
to say,
what people would buy.
which is to say, hold on. Which is to say, I personally hate it and will never wear any of them. That said, both present day, people buying headphones with cat ears, and even in a historical context where ancient warriors from various races made their helmets look more fearsome to scare the enemy. I get it. I approve of them doing it. I'm just never going to wear one in the verse because I personally find them to be ridiculous. I love this suit. I love the yellow.
The gray cat?
The gray cat, I love this suit. It is a great looking suit.
It's great, and I really love that they were like, we were trying to make a suit for Gray Cat, and we went, we're just going to make a suit that's based off the multi-tool.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
I know, it's great. It looks fantastic. Oh, so good. Sometimes it's hard to believe that I know it's not perfect, but a lot of their lighting is already really good, and I know it's going to get a lot better. It just sort of blows my mind.
Nascavian, I love that. Good job. I've actually got to figure out if Cass has an account. I think I got her an account years ago. Actually, I'm pretty sure I got my previous girlfriend an account.
You might have.
I know I did, but that's lost.
Okay.
That's gone.
No comment.
I do sort of
Wow,
wonder.
that was before. Was that before Relay or INN? Before INN, or was it just in that first few months of INN?
I think it was in that first few months. Well, no, because INN existed for a while during Cyborg. INN ended like right at Cass. I don't remember. It's been a long time.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. It was the first time I visited you was when you met Cass.
And that was
And it was at least a year later that we were in LA. So, anyway, sorry. We're reminiscing here.
God, it's been a long time.
It has. That's the problem. We've been playing this game for, oh my god, 8 or 9 years.
Yeah. Long time.
Well, not 9 years, 8 years probably. But
Oh no, Brian, I have no problem that account is gone because it went to fund the game anyway. Like, whatever. The CIG got their $45. Good on them. It's just there's a part of me that wonders, and I wonder about this about all games, right? When a game comes out and says, "Yeah, we've got 10 million accounts," I wonder, okay, how many of those are dead? And have
they've talked about it a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think they were saying that they're like, oh, well, how many citizens are there now? That's how many accounts there are. I'm just gonna check. I already have the crowdfunding sheet open, which has that number on it. So, yeah. So they just passed by 3 million earlier this year. I think they said there are around 1 million, like active accounts or paid accounts, I should say. But they've talked about it like once or twice before. They don't like to talk about it a lot because it's sort of inside,
Yeah.
inside info.
I have to say, I opened this grain beverage, and I've started filling out a little book here of like stuff, and there's like a little flavor ring. It asks, what level of burnt is there, and sulfur, and sweet, and sour, and bitter, and everything. And I've tried this, and I'm like, okay, and I've got nothing. I'm at a 0 on there's there are 16 different flavors that this asks for, and I am at a 0 on 14 of them and a 1 on 2 of them. This beer tastes like nothing. It's nice. It's crisp and refreshing. I mean, this grain beverage tastes like nothing. It's crisp, it's refreshing, but it barely exists. Just thought I'd mention it because, yeah.
Those
I
can be
don't know.
nice sometimes, but they're not the interesting ones to drink.
They're not. They're the, like, I've had a hard day,
Yep.
out mowing the lawn and digging holes and doing things, and I just need it does have
Yeah.
that but
Oh man, I really love. Oh, there's so many cool things. I love that they were able to fit in the armor with the like breathing tube into the modular armor system, and they're just
Yeah.
like, yeah, it works. No modular armor system. If you happen to have the chest piece and the helmet, then it actually completely, you can see the whole thing.
I really like that, and I find it really interesting, the volumes. They have to have really, really specific volumes for a lot of things on these that they
Yep.
can't exceed because of movement and animations, and also getting into ships, and they don't want clipping and such. But I find it really, really good, and I'm really glad that they're going both ways on this, right? Because they've always said they want a modular system, but something like a hazmat suit can't
Yep.
really be modular. Something
Nope.
like this heat resistant suit that they're showing off.
I
can't-
love this thing. It's so great.
And I'm really glad that they were just like, no, this isn't modular at all. This is a 1-to-1. You wear this. That's it.
You wear
This
this on
is
a
what
lava
you're
planet
wearing.
so you don't die.
Yeah. But for everything modular, yeah, you can mix and match whatever you want. But if you want the cool special things of certain armors, you need
You
to
gotta
wear
match
them
the
all.
pieces.
Which,
Yeah.
it's honestly what they're building right there is sets. Right? They are right there, they're building set armor, and not just that they all have the same name. Right? Because normally with set armor, it's like these 5 set armors all have the same name, and if you wear 2 of them, you get this bonus, and if you wear 3 of them, you get this bonus. And this is literally set armor in Star Citizen. If you wear 2 of these, you get the bonus of having the breathing hose attached, which probably
And the-
has gameplay effect
and the
as well, and the cowl,
Crazy cooling and cowling that comes over your head.
which probably, like, that is so cool. Actual physical effects from the set armor. I love it. I really hope they expand on that, but I really hope that they make it very clear in the UI what's happening here.
Yes. Yes.
It needs to be flawlessly clear as to, okay, I got this armor and it looked like this, why doesn't it? I got this helmet because I thought the cowl was cool. Where's my cowl?
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah, it needs to say in the item description. Yeah.
Must be paired with this specific item to grant. Yeah. But
Yeah.
otherwise, as long as they can show that off, so enamored with this system.
Very, very cool. They have said so many amazing people working there. I mean, it's the bonus too when you're at like almost 700 people working on this game now.
So that actually confused me because in Theaters of War they were saying more. In the
No, they said 700 people who were testing. And then they said when they were in Evil Cadi, they were getting like a couple hundred developers plus.
They said 200
Evil Cadi.
developers and 660 or something testers when they went to Evil Cadi, but it was part of a different sentence in there where they were saying the number of people that work on the project, and they have, you know, the 10 people at Fire Sprite represent 1%.
1.6% of
1.6% of the and it wasn't the budget, it was the number of people.
No, they said it was the salary budgets for their staff.
I'd have to double check on that. I thought they were basically saying that there's like 1,000 people, which
also, if anybody's wondering, I had to listen to it pretty closely, but I'm pretty sure they mean that there's 10 people collectively between the two organizations.
Well, I think what they're basically saying in this is there's a couple people from CIG that oversee things and make sure that everything's happening, but the game mode is being made by Firesprite. Anyway, really quickly, the art and stuff they showed of Orison looks really good.
This is going to be an amazing experience to explore this thing.
It's going to be an amazing experience to explore it. I just really hope that they've planned for what happens when you jump off.
I'm sure they did.
Because that's like the first thing I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I really hope that they don't take the like you fall for 50 feet and then die route. I hope they take the you fall for 15 minutes.
See, one of the things that's funny about this too, and I'm not sure if they're going this direction, but it would be funny if they did. They did mention that the platform here has escape pods.
Yep.
And it sounds like they just float in the atmosphere of Crusader, neutrally buoyant.
Yeah, they said that the escape pods, I guess they sort of separate themselves from the platform and they're neutrally buoyant.
Uh-huh.
They just float. I love it.
But would you just float if you just jumped off?
I don't know. Probably not. I want to find out though. If you just float, why would they have all these handrails?
Because they don't want you to float away.
I'm really excited for what that shows off. I'm really excited.
One of the things I really appreciated too. Sorry for interrupting you.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
When they were walking,
that ship is backwards. Sorry for interrupting you. That ship is backwards.
Well, according to you, anyway. I'm just going to agree with you now because I'm tired of disagreeing.
You know it looks better the other way around.
Well, the other way around, it becomes a Cardassian ship from Star Trek. So it's sort of like,
what's wrong with that? Everyone likes Star Trek.
But when they were talking about Orison, they also mentioned they were putting a lot of forethought into putting things in the environment that they could make gameplay with. Like it wasn't going to be an afterthought. They're building it in now. So there were like systems that you could service, and there were consoles that could become interactable. There were ladders to places and like crawlways and stuff. They're actually, they're doing it. They're actually making a game. So really cool.
And it's not just that they're making a game, right? Because most games, this is the level and these are the places that you're supposed to go. And they build it based on the places that you're supposed to go. Whereas in this case, CIG aren't building it based on the places that you're supposed to go. They're building it based on, okay, we are
You
building
can
a
go anywhere.
ship. We're building a ship factory. What do we need to have in a ship factory? Well, we need to have escape pods. Are the players ever going to use one of these? Probably not, but they have to be there because they would be there in a floating factory. We need these, like, if they're building it based on what there needs to be in real life, right?
They're talking about there's like an administration level and stuff too.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So Brian, I do believe this whole station is in an oxygen layer. So as long as you're neutrally buoyant in that same oxygen layer, yeah, you'd be able to keep breathing.
I see what he's saying though. Is if the atmospheric pressure was so high that you were neutrally buoyant, if you were, yeah. So my guess is that I'm completely off base about jumping off the platform and being neutrally buoyant. There's probably something about those capsules that makes
The
them
capsules
neutrally buoyant.
probably have, a little bit of helium in there, enough to counterbalance the weight that they something.
Now
right?
I really want to go on one because it'll sound hilarious.
No, like in separate, like the two
I know,
ends of it have.
It's just in the atmosphere.
Ugh. All right.
Chipmunk capsule.
We haven't even hit. I hope we don't have any questions. Actually, do we have any questions? Because I want to talk a bit about Theaters of War.
Yeah, right.
We've been going an hour, and haven't even talked about Theaters of War yet. Oh, this is not. What is this? Oh, jeez. Okay. Give me a second here. Where? Oh, we don't. Good. We have no questions yet. That is perfect. So,
Like one of the very few times where we're like, yeah, no question.
Yeah, as has been pointed out in chat, and hopefully everyone knows, there was a very no, sorry. There was a pretty good calling all devs.
Yep.
Forgot the name for a second. Calling all the devs about Theaters of War. I wanted to say a very good, but I actually don't think that it was very good. I think it was pretty good. Noskavian, I am going to answer that, but not immediately. So, Eric, what were your takeaways from the Theaters of War Calling All Devs? I will be right back. 2 seconds.
My takeaways were they're working on it. They're fighting performance problems, but those have gotten better. They would like to have 2 levels ready for when they actually open it up wider. One that's focused more on ground combat, one that's focused more on space combat. Of course, in Theaters of War, you do transition through types of combat, so it's just sort of where it starts and where it focuses on. What else did I find out? Part of it is also notable that they have they're doing like company-wide tests internally, which I'm sure helps a lot. Because they actually do have a lot of employees, so you can actually test with a pretty good number of people. What else is coming to mind here? So go for it. What did you think?
So,
what did you take away from it?
I took away a couple things. I think that Theaters of War is extremely, extremely important for Star Citizen. Probably one of the most important things, period. And I've thought this for a while. This just didn't do anything to change my mind on that. They need Theaters of War for balance. They need Theaters of War for the feel of the game. You get a lot better idea of the feel of a lot of things when it's quick, battles, and they need those quick 30, 40 minute battles because those don't really happen as often in the PU. I have no issues with how they're developing it. It sort of sounds like CIG has two pillars that are both very involved in the development of it, working directly with Firesprite to develop it. That's okay. No problems there. As long as they are happy with what's happening, fine. Glad that they're getting some testing of it. Performance is an issue, but then performance has always been an issue for Star Citizen, and that's not going to change for a while.
Yeah. And they've talked about this before. There's no silver bullet for performance.
No.
It's a million little things they improve, and it just gets better.
Yeah.
But they even said between their first test and their second test of the Evocati, they went from like around 20 frames per second to 40.
Yeah, and that's great.
You know, a lot better.
The thing is, Theaters of War is really, really needed because you know what they can do with Theaters of War? They can easily swap out weapons. Oh, we just built a new sniper rifle that works in a different way. Let's plop it into Theaters of War, give it to one side only, and let's see what the numbers say.
Mm-hmm.
How balanced is it? Here's a new combat ship. Plop it into Theaters of War. Let's see how balanced it is. New ship weapon. They can test everything really tightly and get all of the data that they need from it, which is great. And they don't need it yet. They have no rush because Persistent Universe doesn't need to be balanced yet, right? There's
it's never going to be balanced properly because it's literally impossible.
No.
But you can. I think the whole point is that the only way they can even get close is to have something like Theaters of War.
Yes, but they don't even need to do that for another probably year to a year and a half. Balance doesn't matter right now in the PU because one, there's not enough people playing it, and two, it's an alpha. It doesn't have to be balanced yet. They can start making strides, but they don't need Theaters of War to do it right now. So there is no rush for them to get Theaters of War out the door. The way I see Theaters of War, and I really agree. So basically what they were saying is it sounded like the one game mode, the Crossroads of Crime, is pretty much done. Very close. Just performance that they're trying to fix. Great. They said that one of the things that's holding them up is they want a second map. Crossroads of Crimes, you start ground, and then it's ground, and then I think in the third segment of it, you're up in space. They want one that's more space-focused because, and let's be real here, Star Citizen is a space-focused game. It wasn't until the Germans came along and were like, yeah, we can do those persistent planets. That they even... I know, that was horrible. I don't even care. It wasn't until that happened that they were even going to really do it that much. Though, I will say, I can still remember reading through the stretch goals and seeing a stretch goal that was Arclight Pistol and being like, that right there is what confirms that we will have a first-person character and be able to shoot guns at other people. Because for a while there, we weren't sure.
Yeah. Well, because the only other space game we really had was Eve, and it was like, well, in Eve, you are the ship. You were not really...
Yeah, so there was a while where we weren't sure if you could. That Arclight Pistol made me very excited, 10, 11 years ago or whatever.
26 years ago, yeah.
Yeah. Thing is, they do need that second map because they need to be able to test, like they were saying in Calling All Devs, they want to be able to test other things in Atmo too, right? Not just space battles, but also EVA and EVA firefights, and there's a lot there that they can a lot of situations that they can create to test how they will work in the PU. There's so much that they can do, and I think it's great. But really what they need here is the 30 to 40 minute game times.
Yep.
And they need to get it right the first time for those 30 to 40 minute game times, because Theaters of War has the chance to be such a draw for Star Citizen. If they can get, Battlefield 2142 like gameplay, and they can't do it with one map because one map gets boring really fast. I mean, if things were perfect, they'd launch with 5 maps. 2 is pretty good.
I gotta give huge credit to Respawn because they launched Apex with one map and it worked, and I don't know how because usually it doesn't work.
Much bigger map. It's sort of like PUBG.
Wow. It's not even that map's nowhere near as big as whatever map CIG is going to come up with.
No, but it different gameplay, right? PUBG also
sure.
launched with one map, right? Battle Royales can sort of get away with it because they're filled with other things, and it's more detailed exploration that we're not going to get in Theaters of War, right? If Theaters of War is good, and the goal for CIG is to make sure that Theaters of War is good. It plays, it is stable, it has good FPS. I don't think they're going to hit like 90, 120 FPS, but if they can get 60 on a middling...
I think they're just trying to get to 60.
Yeah, if they can get 60, honestly, Theaters of War, especially if they can launch it as a free-to-play, is in direct competition with Battlefield. And Battlefield is huge. Yep. And people have been wanting a new Battlefield 2142 since Battlefield 2142. Right? There is such an untapped market there for Battlefield gameplay in a space game, and if CIG can get it right with Theaters of War, they're golden. And that, in my opinion, is the most important reason that they haven't launched it yet, and why I completely understand and approve of them not launching it yet. Because if they can get this right, it shows that Star Citizen is a game.
Now, what did you think about... I mean, I think they're kind of holding their cards a little bit with this, but they were saying they currently don't intend to put it live in the foreseeable future. Like, even if it's available to all the backers, it won't go to live because they want to be able to change it constantly. Because from their point of view, it is also a test bed for all these things they want to do to help with Star Citizen and Squadron.
I don't think they want to go live in the free-to-play sense, get people into it until they can... honestly, probably until Gen 12 render.
At least I think at least that far.
I think they'll go...
Because part of the problem is if you launch it and then do the Gen 12 render, it's going to be broken for a while.
I think they will eventually launch it to Star Citizen backers in a, like... I could see them actually putting it only up on the PTU.
That's what they were saying.
And
is keeping just be on the PTU.
Keeping it permanently on the PTU, right? It is not accessible for anyone that doesn't want to go through the extra loops to get to the PTU, which make you know that this is not ready to be played. And I think that's the right thing to do. That said, all of this said, CIG, give me access, let me test it, because this is my life. I love exactly this. Let me play it.
So, my question for you is, do you think it launches before Squadron?
Yes. Wait. Launch? Yes.
I mean, like you're free to play. It's now available to the public. You know.
Do you think Squadron comes out without Gen 12?
No, absolutely not.
There you go. Yes, this launches before Squadron. This launches maybe. What's the status on Gen 12 actually?
It's running through the end of this year. So we don't know. It's beyond the end of the year.
So here's my thought. It's Gen 12 early next year. Theaters of War very soon after, like a month or 2 months after the new renderer. Good enough, get it out. 6 months after Theaters of War, time to take in all of the weapon analysis and weapon balancing and ship balancing. 6 months after Squadron 42.
I still think Squadron 42 is going to be in beta for a year. The Rebels. Gen 12.
So that's why I think they need Theaters of War, because I think if we've got Theaters of War, and keep in mind, Theaters of War going live and Theaters of War going out to backers are different things, right? Like I can see Theaters of War going to backers later this year and it going live next year. But
Okay,
they still
so
they still get that data.
Yeah. I
And-
just wanted to clarify
go.
that I lied. We don't actually know. The engine team is a downstream team, so we only get till
Bastards.
we only get to the end of this quarter. But my feeling that I've gotten is that they've been working really hard on it for a long time, and it's not there yet.
It just needs a chicken moment.
What does the chicken moment mean?
The chicken moment. It's when they couldn't figure out how to make the
The chicken
walking-
moment. I know what you mean. Totally.
Come on, you know what I mean. Back when they were trying to unify first and third persons and they were having difficulty because the first person ended up being sickening because they were unifying the first and third person cameras, which was sickening. And then they figured out that someone was watching a video with a chicken and the chicken's head bobs.
Yep.
And they were like, that's how we stop it from being sickening in first person. Done. Solved the problem. So
You make the characters chickens. and you're
when
off your
are
game.
we writing the unofficial Star Citizen like retrospective in 10 years?
Really, the success of this game all came down to the chicken moment.
No, but it's a series of moments like the chicken moment.
Totally. Oh man. Okay, so I have to relate this because it just totally reminded me of this. First of all, if anybody here is interested in SpaceX in any way, you need to read a book that just came out called Liftoff by Eric Berger. It is about the Falcon 1. So, as most people already know, SpaceX almost went bankrupt when they tried to make that rocket. Their last rocket, they were so desperate to fly it. There's the last one they had, and they were almost out of money. They decided they had been barging them to Kwajalein Island, which is where they were launching from, which is way out in the Pacific Ocean. It was going to take them like a month to get it there by ship. And they're like, screw this, we're going to fly it there. But they'd never flown a rocket, like in an airplane. And unfortunately, when they were in the giant military airplane, they realized they didn't properly account for the change in air pressure. And the rocket started to crumple Anyway, long story short, they managed to save the rocket, but then when they got it to the island, they had to completely strip it down and fix it. They completely stripped that frickin' rocket in, what was it, like a day or a day and a half? Normally would have taken them 2 weeks. And and it just that was the moment in my head that it came to where they were just like, yeah, we could totally strip down this rocket in 36 hours. That was their chicken moment. And yes, read that book. It's absolutely
Used to live
excellent.
on Quaj. Wow, that is
Oh, you used to live on Quaj? Holy small world.
wow.
That's really cool. They're launching rockets again. Astrospace is going to start launching there next year, this year.
That is
Soon.
like that is good luck finding it on map tiny.
Oh, it's
Like-
super super tiny.
Like zoom in as far as Google Maps lets you zoom in to find island tiny. That is insane.
Yep.
I
But
oh
yeah,
Cass
it's
look, Cass found a house in Prince Edward Island
Mhm.
for $550,000, and it's a lighthouse on the ocean. And oh my god, I am so tempted to sell everything and move there and just live in a lighthouse on the ocean.
with the Starlink dish on your
Yeah,
roof.
I'm there. The only thing that is stopping me is we have shared custody of Mac and I can't. That's it. Because yeah, Starlink, and I wouldn't. You don't even have to worry about not having internet anymore.
Nope.
Because
You sure don't.
Oh,
Honestly, Starlink is going to really change that. I think a lot of people will feel more free to do to live remotely because they'll be able to have internet.
believe me, once these kids are gone,
You're out of there.
what's holding me here?
It's only what 17 years from now or something.
Zero. That's not a stupid white supremacists
Yeah,
co-opting common symbols.
You're good. Don't even don't even bother explaining yourself.
I'm not going to. I'm just angry.
So since I'm on Space News, I figure I should mention Dragon Resilience is currently on its way down. It undocked right as we started the show. It undocked from the space station, and it will splash down in the Atlantic Ocean. And one of the reasons I'm calling this out, this is the first nighttime splashdown of a capsule in 53 years since
Wow.
1968.
Wow.
It wasn't their first choice. The weather's been really bad, and so they've had to delay it like 3 or 4 times already. They're finally like, we're just gonna let these poor astronauts go home. So they're bringing them home at night. So the splashdown is currently scheduled for about, I guess it would be about 4.5 hours from right now.
Cool.
Oh, and there's probably going to be a Starship launch in the next few days.
Yes, that is exciting.
It almost was Friday, and it probably will be Monday if the weather cooperates. But if anybody's been paying attention to Texas weather, it's been rough down there lately. So were there any more thoughts that you had on Theaters of War?
Honestly, just that I want to play it. I know that there are things that are technically more important to Star Citizen, the new renderer, server meshing, but those we all know are coming.
Yep, been working on them for years.
And but those they affect us and everything, but we don't get to play them.
No.
Right? And honestly, for a long time, I've wondered, based on when we started INN, when I backed Star Citizen, I was a completely different person in a completely different place.
Yep.
Like, I did not have children.
Mm-hmm.
Star Citizen is coming out, and everything about who I am and where I am in life. I didn't have a job that I absolutely adore, and I want to find ways to do more for my job. Like, none of who I am now existed when Star Citizen came out. I don't know if I have time for the persistent universe as it currently is, and as it probably will be.
That's okay. We'll retire together playing Star Citizen.
Probably, and but I'm really excited for Squadron, right? I'm excited for Squadron. I can find the time for that.
Yep.
Persistent universe, I'm excited for. Will I be able to find time to actually do what I wanted to back when Star Citizen was first announced? No. Not a chance. When we started INN, we had dreams of an in-universe news conglomerate. I would still love that to happen. I ain't running it.
And nor am I. I mean, I just don't have the time, and that is
My real job.
somebody's gonna do it, and they're gonna do a really good job of it.
Yeah, and it's great.
I
But
don't
my
think
real
it's- I don't
job
think
is
it's gonna
saving
be
the
me.
planet. I'm gonna focus on saving the planet more. Back when Star Citizen came out, my real job was buying the paper that makes passports. Guess how much I cared about that?
Not very much.
Not very much. What I'm trying to say here is,
David, tell us about passport paper.
I don't even know because I didn't care. What I'm trying to say is, you know what I can play? I can play a game mode that is 30 to 40 minutes a time. I can probably play 3 rounds even. Man, imagine 3 rounds. That would be great. I am extremely excited for Theaters of War, and the one thing that I want CIG to do is get it right. More than I want them to get the persistent universe right, because that I have no fear that it's going to get updated and updated and updated and worked on. This is their one and only chance at a first impression. And it's going to be their one and only chance at a first impression for, honestly, probably hundreds of thousands of gamers.
Oh, for sure. Yep.
They need to get it right. I want them to take the
Well,
time to get it right, because I want to
If
play
they
it.
do that, with it, I hope they do. But they have not promised yet that it will be a publicly released product.
They have not. They would be idiots not to.
It all depends on what. I think that they should do it 100%. It depends on whether they want to support 3 games simultaneously, 2 live games. But I think that they certainly have enough people to do it.
They've got the money.
And I also think if you made it a free to play and you did it in like an Apex style where it doesn't like super push you on buying stuff, but there's stuff to buy, they could make a lot of money at it too, which would help them figure out a funding model for the persisting universe.
No, but look, they've already got cosmetic armors. They've got helmets with cat ears. Make them do no more armor. Make them the same armor, but like cosmetic changes. Done. That pays for Overwatch, it pays for Apex, it pays for so many bloody games. People like things that look cool. Okay, you've got an entire department at CIG to make things that look cool. Done. Theaters of War. I seriously don't think that there is anything more important or that I'm more excited to play in Star Citizen at this point. Theaters of War is what I will likely actually put time into playing for Star Citizen.
All right, my friend.
Yeah.
Should we call it there?
I think we should call it there. I want to thank everyone for watching us.
Yeah.
It has been a rough couple of weeks. It's been a rough couple of months. It's been a rough year and a bit. I really, really appreciate every single one of you. I know that we missed a couple of weeks here and there. Life is hard. COVID sucks. But seriously, thank you for showing up. Thank you for watching. I really hope that you are. I really hope that you're all doing okay and doing well. And I really hope. You know what? I honestly, one of my deepest hopes in the world is that when everything comes back to normal, we can all, hang out somewhere at a Citizen Con, have a beer, and watch Squadron 42 get announced. I
Yes,
really, really
please.
hope for that with my relay friends and my CIG friends and all of you guys. Miami, cheers to you. Cheers to honestly all of you. Yeah, I really hope we can all have a beer someday. And once things have settled down. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. If you're listening to this after, seriously, thank you for listening. And stay safe. Stay healthy. Have some good food. Hug the people you love. Have a beer. And we'll see you all in the verse.